Hello and welcome to our first episode of Oh the Tales We Tell After Dark. A massive thank you there to Austin for their beautiful intro track, Morning. Here we are, Oh the Tales We Tell After Dark. It's a podcast that has been supported by Cornwall 365 Network and Carn Cove to bring you an entire smorgasbord of acts from local artists all wanting to share their beautiful work audibly with you wonderful listeners. Music, poetry, storytelling and more, so do settle in, it's going to be a great show. I'm James, I'm a creative in Cornwall and I'll be your guide through the acts this afternoon. I hope to set the scene for the sort of open mic style podcast that we're aiming for with this series, so do follow us on our travels as our venue takes you to different locations of your imagination and shares some truly wonderful work with you. So, without further ado, let's get started, shall we? The scene then. Imagine you are in a vast field, some cliffs are off in the distance, and you can hear the waves gently lapping up to the mouth of some unseen cave. The birds caw in the distance, and the sun gently warms you as you make your way up a gravel path. In the distance, you can hear the tuning of amps, guitars, and mic checks in situ. Following the direction of the sound, you see a large big-top tent, brightly coloured but distinctly flying a St. Piran's flag, just outside the entrance. A bearded man, not large but not small, looks to you with a smile. I welcome you all weary travellers to the After Dark sessions. Please get yourself a drink and the show will begin shortly. The lights hum, you make yourself comfortable with friends and family and settle in for the first act. And to open this show, tonight's opening number from the extremely talented Dr. Funk with his track Roadrunner. Take it away. And what an excellent performance that was. Thanks again to Dr. Funk. Please do follow his social media. He has a new album out of the same name of the artist, Dr. Funk. And please do go and purchase that. It is available and the link will be in the description. We really, really cannot thank Dr. Funk enough for joining us this evening. And as he leaves the stage, we have our next act up, the very talented Abigail Wyatt, with her poem, Time Traveller at the Merry Maidens. Abigail, please, take it away.
His green stick legs in khaki shorts poke out milky pale. An open-mouthed rucksack disgorges its contents, littering the grass. His back is propped against a sun-bleached stone, the maiden he has chosen. This is early October, unseasonal warmth. The tourist sprawls blissfully asleep. Startled from his nap, he scrambles upright, stretches his stiff limbs awake. He smiles a bashful, stranger's smile, brushes the telltale red dust from his clothes. How beautiful is this place, he says. He offers up his arms to the sky. No postcards, ice cream, souvenirs, no kiosk and no crowds. Here there is nothing, nothing to buy, just time and these old stones.
A huge round of applause there for Abigail and that wonderful poem. We have more to share from her, but not to fear, she'll be back in another episode. And again, thank you, Abigail, for submitting that work. It truly is beautiful. Gearing up then for our next act, we have more poetry, this time from the witty Kerry Vincent. And this one I think will probably have us all thinking about the last year. It's called I'm Sorry.
Good afternoon. I'm sorry to have to tell you that today the number of deaths recorded from COVID in the UK has surpassed 100,000.
I'm sorry. I get it. I feel for you. What this dictator COVID has taken from you. Your ears are tired of virus treating. Hand sanitizer, Zoom meetings, no bus to catch, no hug greetings, no gigs, no fun, just daily briefings. You can't touch your friends, your gran, or have a cuppa with your neighbour. You've all been bloody grounded, and it ain't for bad behaviour. I grew up under Thatcher's rule, embraced my days at primary school. Each classmate's name I still recall, carefree and calm, Grey's knees and all. You grow up under COVID's rule, you're told you cannot go to school. Emails and passwords to recall, your rights removed. It seems so cruel. Please know that it is fine. You must be allowed to grieve if you've been missing school before you've even learnt to read. And I know that maybe sometimes you must feel it all too much. 1,001 voices screaming, stand back, do not touch. The excitement for those play dates that COVID took away, stumbling in the playground, carol concert, Christmas play. If it's taken your brownie meats, your fun in the big hall, your parents fighting for front seats at show and tell at school. COVID took your freedom and your rights in such a rush. You can't sit and argue with your mates on the school bus. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. For karate that's been cancelled for good, for tantrums and meltdowns and misunderstood. I'm sorry you're robbed of a carefree childhood. For I'd give it right back to you now if I could. For you, year 11s, don't know where it's gone, for those cancelled exams and more so for your prom. I hear you. Those first teenage parties, that first swig of booze, for fixing friends' hair in grotty nightclub blues, for those goddamn statistics thrown out on the news. I hope us adults listen, that you're giving your own views. And I'm sorry for adults analysing your each every move. Sorry for the rules that are hidden in smog, that even us adults can't see through the fog. It's been nearly a year, it's been such a long slog, and there's a lad up the road that you're dying to snog. I'm sorry for statistics that you have been fed, those daily briefings that we've all come to dread. I'm sorry about the girl that you wanted in bed, and now you've a 10 o'clock curfew instead. I get it. I get you maybe want to scream. This life you live is behind a screen, but listen hard, you chase that dream. There's so much more of life to be seen. Please, ride with it. You're attractive, active, so alive. Spring comes to us as winter dies. We hope for COVID's slow demise, for he shall fall and you shall rise. So here it is. A special task, please find your smile beneath that mask. We're here for you, reach out and ask. These dismal days will somehow pass. And in good time you'll tell stories you'll hold forevermore. How you grew up in a pandemic and how you helped win the war.
Goodness, I mean, every time I listen to that, it really does give me goosebumps. Again, a massive thank you to our act so far. Kerry has plenty more poetry, and she'll be very kindly sharing it with us over the coming months, so do stay tuned. You can find more of her work on her Facebook page, Commotion and Emotion, so do drop it a like. One final piece then of spoken word before we settle in for our finale act this evening, and it's actually a piece by myself, written for the soon-to-come Dove Trail in Truro. So do stay tuned on the Tyler and Earth page. Again, the link will be in the description for more on that. And this story is called Tre Aden. Hello, my name's James, and I'm a storyteller from Multivax. And today's story that I'm going to tell you, as part of the Dove Trail in Truro, is Tre Aden, which is homebird in Cornish. Flying out high above the woodland area of Idlis, our humble friend, Daisy the dove, hovers over the trees, scouting the area for any movement whatsoever. Now, it's a commonly known fact that doves, as do most birds for that matter, have a job that they are required to do each and every single day. Whereas a magpie's job is to find shiny objects and collect them together to add to the growing treasure trove hidden deep in an unknown location, the dove's is to simply bring peace, joy, and a sense of calm to any human that they can. Now, with the current situation, Daisy was struggling to do this. She lived high up on the third spire on Truro Cathedral and had not returned home for a couple of days, due to the fact that she had not found a single human out and about. From Malpass to Helston, Bodmin to Land's End, everyone was stuck at home. She grew concerned, as she was sure that Philip, a high-ranking dove in the area, was sure to brag about how many people he had brought a smile to when they next met. She did smile, though, at the very thought of the way in which he did make people smile, with his silly head-bobbing dance. It seemed to work every single time, and he certainly got the job done of cheering people up. As her mind wandered, she caught a glimpse of something moving on the footpath. A family of people were out performing their daily exercise. Unfortunately, they were looking rather glum. She swooped down, perching a little bit way down the path, and as she rustled her feathers and filled her lungs with the cold, fresh air, she let out a truly splendid song. The children did not see her at first. Oh, but their eyes lit up with wonder at the sound, searching high and low to find the source. Carrying on with her melody, she swooped down to a lower branch and came into full view. Everyone smiled, and after a short while they soon went on their way after the song had ended. A great sense of relief came over Daisy. Finally, she thought. And as she thought, there was a familiar call that she'd heard plenty of times before, and without a moment passing, she swung her beak in the direction of the noise, and found a rather confusing scene. Rufus, a dove who was good friends with Daisy, was frantically, and rather clumsily I might add, landing near her, wide-eyed and out of breath. He squawked at her about something to do with a meeting and no people and such. Well, she simply whistled back, after a moment, to indicate that she hadn't the foggiest idea of what he was talking about. He took in a deep breath, shook his head, and began to chirp his story. He explained that there was to be a large meeting atop the old City Hall, or the Hall for Cornwall as it is now known, and all the doves across Cornwall would be there. He was surprised that she had not heard the news, but after some back and forth, he soon realised that this is because she had not been home in some time. The doves required an urgent meeting to try and figure out how they could bring peace, joy to all the people in Cornwall, when everyone was stuck at home and not out and about. The pair immediately flew back towards Truro without a moment's notice, following the river as it came into view. Travelling back, with Daisy's memory of the people that she had just seen, the viaduct came clearly into view. A train slowly passed over the old bridge, and as it did, a warm feeling in Daisy's heart brought a smile to her face. Home was just in sight. Her family were waiting as they landed on the spire of the old building, and she waddled over to her nest. After a short while, as the sun began to set, creating a wonderful display of oranges and reds, silhouettes could be seen off in the distance by Daisy and her family. At first, just a couple, and then more and more as the sky grew in intensity with its array of colours. She kissed them all and explained that she'd be back soon, after which she glided off to join the growing number of doves all performing their welcome call and heading to the old City Hall. Her chicks sat with their father in the nest and watched in awe as all of the doves in Cornwall began a wonderful dance in the sky as a way of showing their happiness to be together once again. So, the next time you're out and about and you're lucky enough to be visited by a dove, remember this tale, because Daisy and the other doves' plan must have worked. On then to our final act. The evening has come and we thought we would end it on some more music, this time from the very talented Alex Robertson, and this song is called Secret Master. Enjoy!
And I'm not telling you, 'cause my secret's always the truth. And you were never meant to know. My body's beat up and I'm the proof. And you know that you don't need to wear a frown. I've been serving the queen with her broken crown. Yeah, 'cause I'll do. Boy, I was no good for you. Yeah, but what else was I supposed to do? And you were no good for me, no. Yeah, I've gotta stop feeling so blue. Ooh, and you know that you don't need to wear a frown. I've been serving the queen with her broken crown. Yeah,
Thank you so much, Alex. That was an absolutely wonderful song. Thank you again for submitting your work. It's truly, truly wonderful, and we're so happy that you were able to share it with our lovely listeners. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you've enjoyed our first outing together for the After Dark sessions. Be sure to tune in to our sister show, Oh the Tales We Tell Cornwall, where we've been speaking to local creatives about their trade and how exciting the art scene truly is in Cornwall. I've had an absolute blast, and I want to say a huge thank you to our wonderful acts this evening. You can make your way back out through the big top to the left, and we hope you have a safe journey home. I'm sure we'll see you again next month for more songs, more stories, and so much more. Stay safe, and until next time, this has been Oh the Tales We Tell After Dark. And here's Austin to play us out with the full track of our outro. Be sure to check them out on SoundCloud. Again, all of the links for tonight's act will be in the description, and this track is called Morning. Good night.